Welcome back to Against My Better Judgment, the podcast where two friends,
I'm Tamara Golden.
and I'm Danelle Whiteside, tell the truth, share the lessons, and laugh about the moments that we knew better but did it anyway. Each week we share real stories about our lives, about the times that life surprised us, stretched us, or just straight up humbled us, and the lessons that we learned along the way.
And this season, we're titling it Just Because. Today we'll be talking about just because I'm friendly doesn't mean I'm your friend.
That's gonna be a good one.
Man, before we start, how was your week?
Good. Today we say goodbye to Allison.
Allison
has been here for the week.
We almost had a guest.
We almost did, but she had to leave. So she came because I was out of town, and my mom was also out of town because my niece graduated from high school. Shout out to my niece, Drew.
Congrats, Drew.
And because I was out of town for school, my mom, I had to miss the graduation, which I am trying to cope with. But my mom also had to be out of town to go to the graduation. So Allison came in to help with the boys while we were gone. And so then she stayed a few more days so that she and I could hang out. And so it was really good to hang out with her. And then her husband came, he brought her here, and then he came back and got her. So we went out to breakfast this morning. So we just had a really good time.
It's always good to see
yes.
Always good to see Allison.
And you know, there are some, like, I'm really blessed. We've talked about this being friend rich. And there are friends who don't just say they're there for you, but who actually like step up when you call. And so I knew when I knew that we needed, you know, this extra support, I was like, there's only one person I know to call who can drop everything and get here. And so she just did that, and the boys love her. Like, they really think when she comes to town it's because
they come to see her.
That she's coming to play with them. She just got that youthful spirit. And so anyway, we just love her, and just wanted to say thank you for stepping in and helping when I needed it.
No, it was just good to see you too, Allison. So like I said, we almost had us a guest. So.
Yep. So how have you been?
Pretty good. So the big highlight of the week is one of my friends had a birthday. So we celebrated on a Monday, which is odd.
Was the actual birthday on Monday?
No, but
that is odd.
It was odd, but it actually worked because it's like Monday, I've learned it was one of those days where people didn't have conflicts because they're just coming off the weekend.
Okay.
So we went to dinner, then we went to a rooftop for just some cocktails, and then we met up at a house just for a nightcap, and it was really, really nice. It was good to celebrate friends. So happy birthday, Jamera.
Happy birthday, Jamera.
Yeah.
Jamera and Tamara.
Oh my. You can't resist it, man.
Okay, so just because I'm friendly
doesn't mean I'm your friend. And you know, we're talking about just friendliness. I think there's a lot of things that come into people being friendly and people misunderstanding it, and I think part of it is because people just, when you're polite, it's like it means something more than just being polite, or when you're friendly, it just means something more than just being friendly. And most of the time it doesn't. You know, I think about, you know, in some professions, establishing a rapport quickly matters. And I think about the legal profession, establishing a rapport with your clients matter. Or if you're recruiting for something, establishing a quick rapport matters. So that politeness and friendliness, there's a purpose for it, because, you know, it's great to be kind, but a lot of times it doesn't mean anything more than that. I think about, as a lot of people know, I'm almost to my 1 year anniversary on social media. It's coming up. Yeah.
Girl, this year has flown by.
It has. So a lot of you know that I didn't join social media until last year.
Until I bullied her.
Yeah, true. But one thing I'm noticing is I've been pretty good about not accepting requests of people that I just totally don't know. Like if there's nothing that can make me remember you. And I accepted a friend request from this man, and I get a, how are you today? It's a beautiful day today. How are you feeling? I've not responded I haven't even been friendly. I guess my friendly move was accepting it, but I hadn't even been friendly. And then post your profile picture looks great. Another stranger.
Oh, no.
Just folks that I hadn't even been friendly with or friendly to. I haven't waved, done that little fake wave, that little orange hand wave, and I've done nothing. And so that's just a little strange. But I think about people wanting community, and so when you're friendly to them, that's kind of in their mind an invitation for to fulfill something that they're missing in their life. And I think about this man, and I'm not going to say a last name, but I'm going to say a first name in his name, and I'm going to call him Walter because that's his first name. But I remember meeting this guy at an event, and he was polite enough, but I almost kind of felt as though he didn't have a lot of connections
with the people there, or
with the
in
people
general?
there, with the
Okay.
people there.
Okay.
And so, I just connected with him like, hey, I'm Tamara, how are you? And we started a conversation. It was fine enough to where I went back. This is a recurring meeting. I went back and he was there again. So we started a conversation, fine enough. Both of us had dogs. So we met up and we walked our dogs together. We did it probably about 3 or 4 times, nothing more than that. But I'd given him my number, nothing.
Now, wait a minute.
I know, but
You
I
taking
did.
steps
I did.
to friend.
Well, but I wasn't. It was out of, and that's why you can't be friendly out of pity. I mean, you can't be friendly out of pity. And so I thought I was just being friendly. And well, then finally it just got weird. Like he would just start calling me routinely. And then he would, so finally when I see him at the meeting, I just have to ignore him. He would start showing up places that I'm like, man, I could have sworn I just saw Walter.
Wait, what was this a business type of meeting?
Yeah.
Like networking kind of thing? And then after the second time, you gave him your phone number.
Maybe not even the second time. I mean, it may have been like the third time, and it was a purpose to it. It wasn't giving my phone number for us to talk. I don't remember the purpose for it, but it was purposeful. I can't remember the details of it.
After he got your phone number, you guys went and walked your dogs together.
Correct. Twice. At a public place, but we did.
And you don't see how he didn't. He didn't.
Not to this extent. I would be places and I'd look up and I'm like, dang, I think I just saw Walter. Okay, maybe not. Then I was somewhere else and I'm like, this man is following me. And so finally I told him.
Now wait.
Yes.
Were y'all talking in between on the phone? So,
Nothing in
okay,
between.
I'm just trying to make sure we have the full picture for Walter. You met him the first time, didn't exchange numbers. You met him the second at professional
Actually, we
event.
only walked our dogs together once because I thought it was weird. That's right.
Okay, so you met him the first time at a professional event, didn't exchange numbers. Second time, didn't exchange numbers. Third time at the professional event, you exchanged numbers.
I think we must have exchanged numbers for the dog walking, the play date, the dog thing. I think it was a reason. So my guess is that had to have been it.
At the third time. Then y'all met up to walk your dogs. And then, but in between there, you didn't talk to each other.
No conversations. Like there's no how you doing? There was no interaction on the phone.
Texting anything?
No.
Okay.
I was late to the texting game anyway.
Right. I forget who I was talking to.
No.
Okay. So then after that, after the dog walking, you
dog
were like,
walking's
you're
what got
weird. And then he starts to show up random places. Okay. I give you that.
I mean, and it was weird random places to where, so I was at work one day.
Oh, now Walter.
Yeah. I was at work one day and I got a letter to my job.
A letter?
A handwritten, and I still have the letter because I needed to. I showed it to a friend. I got the letter to my job, and it was, jumble mumble. I don't really want to disclose, since I have said this man's first name. I don't want to disclose what made it weird immediately, but there's something, he didn't do anything to me, but his affect made it like.
In the letter?
No, when the dog walking incident, that's what made it really weird. And so that's what I'm like, okay, we can't walk.
Our dogs don't need to walk anymore.
And I also stopped going to the event
meetings.
because that interaction was so weird. He wrote me this letter and it was all mumbo, like it was like a memoir of his life and how important I was to him and how magical what we had was.
Oh,
and
Lord.
It was deep. I mean,
He took it too far.
was really, really deep, to where I told one of my girlfriends, and we worked together. And so I put everybody on the firm on alert. I'm like, look, if you hear anything from this man, and I think I sent her a picture of the letter. She has the letter. I was like, if something happens to me, this is his name, this is his address, this is,
I hope he,
because his address.
You have a podcast.
Well, his address was on the letter.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, this is his address. This is where, blah, blah, blah. And it was a deep letter. I'm saying like deep. Then he would send me stuff to the office. And so I'm like, look, y'all, anything from this person, I don't want. If you see somebody if they call and ask for me, he started calling places where I work. It got very obsessed. It got very bizarre.
So this sounds like just because I'm friendly doesn't mean you need to start stalking me.
Well, that too. So that incident, and this happened a while ago, but say that happened, the letter didn't come for like a year later. Like I cut off all communications with him. He found me. That was what was so weird about it is it might be 2 years later. I'd forgotten about him, except I kind of thought I was seeing him, but it's kind of like you look and then you look back, they're not there. But it was like 2 years later before he sent the letter and like literally found me. So, I think sometimes when we do things out of pity or out of feeling sorry for folks, you just don't do that. And, what starts out as that's why this person was saying, hey, on Facebook, that's why you're not getting a response. Like, I can't say hey to you because you might be Walter. So it's things like that. And then I think about, just because someone is friendly to you doesn't mean they're inviting you into their inner circle. Like, I think about friends of friends. Like, just because you're good friends with my good friend doesn't make us friends. Or even when you think about just the frequency of seeing folks, that sometimes frequency, like if you see somebody every week, they think that maybe that frequency creates some sort of intimacy to where y'all are closer than what you really are. And I think that can be confusing sometimes, but you have to know your boundaries with that. Like with Allison, I met through you. And when I think of Allison, I was like, oh, that's Danelle's friend, that we're friendly with each other, but I'm not in Allison's like inner circle of friendships. So I kind of think about that. So have you ever had a friendly interaction where the person thought that you were actually friends?
I have. I tend to be a person that people feel comfortable with.
I agree with that.
I don't know what it is about me, but I think people tend to, I hope, like I said, that people, like I've said before, that people feel that I'm genuine. And I think because they do feel that genuineness, that they feel that it's a connection further than perhaps where I intended. There are a lot of people who really think we are very close. And that's just not the case. Like, I just have a way. There are people right now who think they know a lot about me.
Yep.
And no, you don't really. And so I've had a lot of that where I'm just like, there are people who attach themselves to me and they think we are friends, but I'm like, I'm friendly with you.
Yep.
And that's it.
Yep.
So, but I've never had somebody like take it to stalking.
No, that's and I think we're alike in that when I engage people, I really am genuine.
Yeah.
And I really do interact, and not only I'm also polite. Like sometimes my politeness, if I had to pick politeness over whether to be genuine or whether to be polite, I'm gonna pick polite first, because number one, I don't want to hurt somebody else's feelings. So I'm always gonna pick polite first, but it's always in an effort to still be genuine, because part of the genuineness of me is politeness.
Yeah.
But I do agree. I think folks are, really do think that we're friends when I'm just really being friendly, and I do like people.
Yeah.
So it's just tricky. Like,
I just want people to have a good experience when they're around me.
Correct.
And so I think that can sometimes, and it's happened like with members of the opposite sex too. Like when I'm being, and that not since I don't do that when I'm married, my line is drawn. But there have been a couple of times, like I remember one time I worked in this building and it was a man who would clean up in the evenings. And so, because I'm friendly, he would always ask me like, oh, what you cooking when you could leave here? And he would ask me things. And, this went by months and months and months. And he was an older man too. So then like one night he was like, well, can I take you out to dinner? And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Like I thought you were I was just being friendly with you, man.
Yep.
I was not trying to send any signals. But later on my brother was like, look, you naive. That man was casing you out. He was asking if you can cook. You said yeah. He was asking. He observed you and saw you. Put your stuff together well. He was like, at a certain point, he was like, okay, she's nice. She's talking to me. Maybe she's interested. And that's just couldn't be further from the truth.
No.
So it's just like you said, if it's in your nature to be kind, I just don't want people to take that to a place where I did not intend. And I've not changed how I am, but I've also made sure, I think, in recent years, because I think it never shows up with in opposite gender things now. But even like we've talked about this before, boundaries at work and, understanding that I'm a leader and the hallmark of my leadership is accessibility and transparency. And so with that, I like to talk to people. I like to be interested in what is, happening in their lives, but it just doesn't mean we are friends.
Yep.
I just want you to feel connected. And it's not an artificial feeling of connectivity,
Correct.
but it's just like, I'm interested in you as a person and making sure you have what you need to be successful and that, you feel comfortable around here, but we not friends.
Yeah. And I think the thing, I am a true empath through and through. And I think when it comes to a friendship, there's a load that I'm willing to carry. So I have to put boundaries because there's only so many loads we can carry. So I have to, put those boundaries up. But because I put up those boundaries also doesn't mean that I'm not friendly. And so it's like you have to walk this road of being kind and being nice, but we don't have to kick it. Like you can see me every week and I'm gonna be friendly to you every time I see you, but we are not friends. And you know what? That's okay, because boundaries in general are healthy.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things that percolated, frankly, because I thought about these Facebook things that I've just started to get the last month from random folks that I shouldn't have accepted. And then I don't know why, but Walter came to mind, and I was like, God, if I would have never been nice to that man. So anyway,
yeah,
lesson learned. But just because someone's friendly doesn't mean that you're part of their inner circle, nor does it mean that they want to be part of yours.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. Just be honest about your relationships and the depth of them.
Yep.
And, maybe it's check in if you think someone is extending friendship, there needs to be a conversation about that to make sure it's a mutual extension. Because you don't want to be out there like, oh, we're friends. And then you're like, I'm not your friend.
It's like, what? I mean, I don't know you. Like,
right.
you don't know nothing about me. Like, how are we friends?
That's about it. So make sure there's mutual agreement with the
And don't come, if you're listening to this podcast, don't come walking up to me talking about, are we friends? Were you just friendly?
Ask.
So
if you have to ask. That's your litmus test.
That's it. So if you come up to me talking about, we friends, right?
Oh, but we have had, I think Tamara's had a couple of instances where people have watched this and they're like, oh, I've seen you.
Yeah.
So
that part.
yeah, so we really love our listeners, but don't take it to be friends.
Yeah. That is so fun. I didn't think about that. Oh, this has been fun.
Yeah, so all right, we're gonna go on to the We'll Be the Judge segment, where we give our qualified yet unqualified opinion. And so this one, he or she didn't give a name. So, hey, Tamara and Danielle, I have a question. My neighbor keeps bringing my trash can back up to my garage after trash day. It's really nice, except she also tells me every week that I should be putting it in a different spot because it looks better. I appreciate the help, but didn't ask for decorating advice. Do I just smile and say thank you, or is there a nice way to tell her that I've got my trash can under control?
You know, I'd probably why is she talking to me? Like, if that's what you have to say. Like, I guess my whole thing is I'm pretty direct with that kind of stuff.
Why are you talking to me?
Yeah, because if you say that to me once, you're not going to say that to me again. Like, I'm not going to listen to that every single time. Leave my stuff alone. You know what? I'd have to say, I'm channeling Chanela right now. She'd just say, you know what? Leave my trash can right there. I got this. Like, because what I'm not going to do is listen to you every single Wednesday tell me about where to put my trash can. So that's how I feel about that.
She said, why are you talking to me? You know, I have a hard time even thinking about what to say that would be polite. I mean, maybe that's the most polite you can get, but I think it's this, my trash can, my business, where I put my trash can. Now we did have this situation recently with our HOA. So apparently our HOA says our trash can should be not visible from the street.
That's our HOA rule.
But I never knew that. And it's never been enforced. And we've lived there 7 years. And so all of a sudden, a few months ago, we got like a notice, like with the picture of our trash can in the spot. And it's never like, it's not like our trash can is overflowing or anything. It's just like right on the side of the house, neatly. You can see it, but it's not like an eyesore.
You got an overachiever that takes their job real seriously.
Listen, but we've lived here 7 years and you've never said anything about it.
Yeah, but it's not adverse possession or something. You still gotta, yes, that's 7 years rule, no rules. You gotta move that trash can.
Well, so we did, but I also put it in the HOA Facebook group. I was like, I know not just me, but it's a lot of people in this subdivision that have their trash cans out. So like, is there something we can negotiate? You know, so I think they had a meeting. I couldn't make it because I was out of town, but I think they had a meeting the other day about it.
It's probably a vote, like 2/3.
Yeah, like
or something.
They probably need to change the bylaws. Because first of all, you're petty if you rolling around taking pictures of people's trash cans and then sending them. Not only did they send me an email with the picture attached, they also sent us a printed copy in the mail. And anyway, I have gotten all off what the topic is. The topic is your neighbor and whether or not you should say something. And I think you should. Like, as long as you're not violating any HOA rules, that was my point of bringing that up. As long as you're not violating those rules, I would say this is where I want my trash can.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with it, keep it to yourself.
That was really nice, Danielle.
Was it nice?
I hope it comes out that way when you say it.
Was it nice?
Yeah, that was nice.
Okay, because I really don't want to hear your opinion.
And it was clear.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. We not mincing words. So when I see you next week,
don't say. And to be clear, I didn't ask you to take my trash can. So if you have a problem, just stay over there. You don't have to come.
See, that's her way over there to give her opinion.
Right. And that's just, I don't need it.
I agree.
So I don't need your help and I don't need your input.
Yep.
So if you have a problem keeping both of those to yourselves, then you can stay over where you are.
Yeah.
And
I don't like you. Like there's nothing about us to where we need to be just talking. I can just tell.
Yeah.
You saying the same thing every single week.
Yeah.
like I'm a child.
And
Anyway.
it comes like nice, nasty, like, oh,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm doing you this favor, not really.
And I think you could, it'll look great if you put it over here. Well,
let me tell you what it look great. Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, we don't like her.
Nope. She's probably the one pulling on the trash can, reversing this story.
Probably.
Anyway.
Oh, you think?
You never know.
Like,
Can't be
the
trusted.
real question is, should I be telling my neighbor? Stay up, mind your business.
Yep.
We're friends. We're friendly, but we're not friends.
So what about what did you do? What's against your better judgment? It's that time.
Okay, so I have to tell y'all a story about what happened on my trip. So we had a packed agenda. Like pretty much 70% of the time was accounted for. And so against my better judgment, we were supposed to be, this particular day, we had an 8 a.m. meetup time to take a train. We were in Glasgow to take a train to Edinburgh, which is probably like 30 minutes. And then we were going to tour the University of Edinburgh. And so while we were there, like we met the presidents. Every institution we went to, we met the presidents of each of those institutions. So it was like a big deal.
Edinburgh. That sounds like Harry Potter.
It was.
Anyway.
Actually, I'm gonna show you a picture where I was in Diagon Alley.
Okay, let's not get distracted. Squirrel.
So against my better judgment, I overslept for that 8 a.m. call time.
You figured it out.
Here's what happened. So my phone was ringing. And I woke up to my phone ringing. I picked up. It was 8:08. We were leaving the hotel at 8. So it was the program.
They just not calling at 8:08.
Listen. So the program assistant director was calling me, and so when I called her back, she didn't answer. So I FaceTimed one of my classmates, and they were clearly she answer. They were clearly walking. She was like, "You just woke up?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh." So she was like, "Well, call Caitlin back." So I called Caitlin again. She answered the phone. And so she was like, "Well, I can leave your train ticket at the front desk, and you can just catch up with us there." And I was like, so where am I supposed to go? Like, I literally don't know where I'm supposed to go. And so she like paused. She was like, "Okay, I can stay with you."
Right.
So anyway, she stayed back behind, and she was like, "How much time do you need?" I was like, "Give me 20 minutes. So I some steps were skipped, but not the important ones. And I got myself together, got downstairs, and we were really only about 15, maybe 30 minutes behind the group. Okay. So we got on the train and got off. And so when we got there, she was, while we were on the train, she was looking at like the route we needed to, once we got off the train, to get to the university. And so she was like, "Okay, you can take, there's the easy way, there's the easier way, or there's the harder way." She was like, the hard way is quicker. Yeah. And it looks like it's like straight up a hill. And she was like, "But the easy way, it'll take us about an extra 5 minutes." And I was like, "Well, I'm already late. The first meeting is with the university secretary, which is a big position." And I was like, and she also was an attorney. And I was like, I really wanted to meet her. So like, let's just take the hard way. Well, we didn't know that the hard way was not straight up a hill. It was up 6 flights of steps.
Like up,
like stone steps that were made in the
cobble. I know, uneven, no ADA,
none.
Yep.
So we went up them steps. I did well. We made it all the way. We didn't even stop till we got to the very top. Thankfully, it really was the hardest part, because then we just went like 2 blocks and we were right there. So it was the right call. But child, I was nervous.
Well, how did you oversleep? Like, you just didn't set an alarm?
I set an alarm, but I think what happened is I was jet lagged, and it was probably one of the first nights where I actually had really good sleep.
Gotcha.
And I think I just slept right on through it. Like, I must have hit the alarm and like tried to hit snooze, but actually turned it off instead. And so, yeah.
Is there a moral to this?
No.
Oh, yes, there There is. That classmate that you FaceTime, when they walk past your door, just tap.
So there were a couple times.
She said no.
There were a couple of times on this trip where I realized, like, oh, we're friendly.
I was just about to say that. 808, you're getting a call.
Yeah, because like the first time there was, so I had cash with me when we first flew to Manchester, and I wanted to trade it to pounds. Yeah. And so I got my bag was one of the first that came off the conveyor. So then I was like, well, while we were waiting for the group to get their stuff, I was like, well, I'm gonna go over here and exchange my money. Now we all had cars. Like it was enough of us to have 2 cars, but it was we knew whose cars we were supposed to be in. Like it would be like you were assigned a car and you had 3 other people. Correct. And you knew who 3 we were supposed to ride with. So anyway, I went over there to exchange my money and they all walked away. They all left out of there and went to where you were supposed to pick up the cars. So when I got finished, I walked the direction they went, but then when I get out to the place, it's like door 1 through like door 5, and I don't see them. And so I called. I think I put it in our WhatsApp group, and I was like, "Hey, where are you guys?" And they're like, "Oh, we're at door 3." But I'm like, no one thought, first of all, let's not leave her here.
Missing someone.
Second of all, if we do leave her, let's tell her where we went.
Yeah.
So that was my first clue, like, oh, girl, y'all friendly, but you're not friends. And so then the second one was this. It was like, okay, no one thought because usually everybody kind of got downstairs and ate breakfast, and no one thought at
at breakfast
10 till like, hey. And one girl, which, like, to be clear, I don't fault anyone because I'm grown. So,
yeah, that's true, but
and I do have friends now that I've gotten to be cool with. So, but I just thought, like, one of them was like, oh, we sat down at the university. I was like, oh, where's Danielle? She was like, so don't count on me because I don't know who's supposed to be around here. So anyway, again, I'm grown. I can get, I own my mistakes, but it would have been nice for someone to call at like 7:50 because I probably could have made we could have made that work. But anyway, I guess that's the moral to the story.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
But I made it. Only was probably like 5 minutes past when they started, and it was all good. So,
all right. I like it.
Yeah. So what are we taking away?
Oh, I think just that, I think I'm just going to stick with the friendly piece, and just understand your own boundaries with being friendly, and also just be aware and cautious with your friendliness, because friendly is one thing, but when you miss it, it's totally different. So just be mindful of it.
Yeah. And I think in the same vein of like friendly, like, who your friends are, like genuinely the ones who show up for you, who are there, like those are your friends. Mostly you're friendly with everybody else, acquaintances, all of those things. And so don't mistake that for like someone who really has your back, because there might be situations where you're like, oh, that really, you don't want to be depending on someone that you think has your back, and then you realize in the moment, like, oh, y'all didn't really have my back.
That was your only phone call.
So but I'm grateful for the friends I have.
Me too.
Yep. Me too. And for those who I'm friendly with, grateful for you too.
Absolutely.
We have a different relationship,
and that's fine.
Yes. So anyway, thank you for listening. We've enjoyed this conversation.
Absolutely.
If you want to hit us up and have us judge your decisions, please send us an email at againstmybetterjudgmentpod@gmail.com, or on Facebook and Instagram at againstmybetterjudgmentpod.
And y'all go share this episode, invite some more friends or people that you're friendly with to these episodes. But if you've given us stars, we only know 5. So we need some 5 stars, y'all. So thanks. We'll see you next week.
See you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.